It was 5 or 6 years ago, and I was invited to the NFL competition committee. It's a committee that sets the rules, determines the rules, debates the rules, and the rule in debate was whether or not blockers should ever block below the waist. Well, I was there to represent the blockers and the coaches and explain why, in certain situations, it was critical to block below the waist in inline blocking. And a member of the committee was John Madden. He sat in the corner of the room. His corner was the entire presence of the room. The man, if you knew him at all, he was the presence in the room. And his comments were great. And during one of the breaks, I went up to John and said, John, I'd like to introduce myself and I'd like to tell you a story. A year ago, I was in Carmel. All right, Carmel is a nice seaside village in Monterey County, California. Beautiful. It was the inspiration of John Steinbeck's novels and numerous things. It's just a beautiful, quaint little village, and I love it. And so I was walking down Ocean Avenue. Ocean Avenue goes past these shops all the way down the village, down to the ocean. And I walked down with my wife, Kathy. We go to the ocean, and there's a man there building a sandcastle, beautiful sandcastle. And we look at it, and then I turn around and I see this yellow house right here. The most beautiful house I'd ever seen, in the most beautiful setting, picturesque, absolutely beautiful. You know why Thomas Kincaid lived there, obviously, because it was just art. And I turned and I said, oh my God, who lives there? And the guy building the sandcastle said, John Madden lives there. And I said, get out of here. He said, no, that's where John Madden lives. So I told John that story during the break. I said I was amazed. I said I couldn't get over how beautiful the village was. It's now become my favorite destination in the United States. And he said, "Oh, you should have come up and rang the doorbell and say hi, how you doing, and introduced yourself." I wouldn't have done that. He said, "Well, here's my phone number. The next time you're in Carmel, you call me or you text me, and we'll get together." He said, I love visitors. I'd love to see you next time you're out there. And I'm thinking, okay. So I take his number, I put in my contacts. The next year we're out there again. And we're out there this time with two friends of ours, John and Maria Martins. And I text John and say, hey, John, we're in town. I don't know if you were serious, but you said next time that I was in Carmel to look you up. He replies, he says, oh, unfortunately, I'm out of town, but what are you doing for dinner tonight? I replied, I said, we hadn't made plans at this point. And he replies back and says, okay, I got your reservation at 7:00 at this Italian restaurant. It was on a boat over in Monterey, and beautiful, great restaurant. He said, I made your reservations. You won't regret it. You'll love it. All right. It's the best restaurant around. I go, okay, well, great. Hey, guys, this is where we're going for dinner tonight. All right. So we go there. We go and we have an amazing dinner, appetizers, too much wine, great meal, dessert, more wine. And when we got ready to pay, the maitre d' came up and said, oh, no, this is on Coach Madden. I said, really? For me, my wife, and my friends here, I'm thinking the bill was $300 or $400. And he said, no, this is completely on Coach Madden. Wow. That's amazing. That's who this guy is. I mean, yeah, I was one of the group. I was an NFL coach, and we have a tight fraternity and all those things. But he really didn't know me. I was amazed by him. My admiration for him through the years was great. And he just bought us dinner just because of who he was. And it's kind of an amazing story of just a regular day in the life of a regular guy. And that's who I think John Madden